The War State by Michael Swanson explains the great national transformation that took place and put the Kennedy presidency in the context of the times and reveals never-before published information about the Cuban Missile Crisis. President Kennedy would not have been assassinated if he had been president 200 years ago. His assassination took place in the context of the Cold War and the rise of the national security state. Before World War II, the United States was a continental republic. In the decade that followed, it became an imperial superpower. Generals such as Curtis LeMay not only wanted to invade Cuba, but knew that there were short-range missiles on the island armed with nuclear warheads that they could not destroy because they were on mobile launchers. Their invasion could have led to a third world war, and they wanted to go to war anyway. The War State by Michael Swanson reveals why and will show you what President Kennedy was up against. For more information, thewarstate.com.
Revelation through conversation.
The views expressed by callers, co-hosts, or anyone else who happens to get on the air at Ocelli.com do not necessarily reflect the views of Ocelli.com or Chuck Ocelli, and we are not responsible for any stupidity which might ensue. Thank you.
World order, gossip, hearsay, slander, rumors. There's a gene for that, okay? So how do you combat it? Slowly, carefully, painfully. It's a painful process. Every single headline points to the birth pangs of a new world order. The crises of the 21st century, it's obvious.
Chili.com.
The direction, the pattern, the birth.
Warning, 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 warning. This is a Muncie broadcast. Code Red, here we are. Pick up your iPads, your cell phones, and have me and listen to Uncle the Podcast. Watch out. If you're sitting down for this, or if you're standing up, you better get ready for this, because it's gonna hit the eardrums. Uncle the Broadcast.
You are listening to Uncle the Broadcast. My name's Aaron. I'm the nephew-in-law. Here with me is the star of the show, Uncle.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Mind my business, because I have peanuts in my mouth. But I have 265 episodes. This is the Comedy Hour. Wait, we end up with the Comedy Hour.
It's a good thing to be here, Uncle.
Now we have a new system here. Nice looking room. We moved in finally, so we're in the new room. Coming since of all this kind of stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
Tell them people we have a new room.
Yeah, I know. You okay with the peanuts? I'm glad I realized you're still eating.
Yeah, just snacking on.
Okay. Just making sure that you're going to make it through here. Yes, we're live on Ocelli.com as we always are on Friday night, 11 p.m. Eastern. It's 8 p.m. Pacific for us. We also do a live stream video version of this on Twitch, on YouTube. You can get those at UncleThePodcast.com. I see Creative Accidents.
Crazy Accidents. Are you going to be talking tonight? Come on, Accident. I need you right away. Come on, call me.
He is talking in the Twitch chat. That's good. And we've got the Ocelli.com chat room up too. That's been very lively in the first hour. Creative Accidents is saying peanuts in the Ocelli.com chat. But Uncle, we do have a caller on the line.
There is a caller on the line?
Here. Yeah, so if you
first caller. All right, let's see. Who is this on the line and where you from? And here we roll. Hello?
Hey, Uncle, how you doing?
Oh, honey.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Nice and clear.
Hey. All right, it's Sam Idolette here, the author of Dancing with My Fate. Nice to talk to you again. How you doing?
Good.
Yeah. You remember Sam, Uncle, when we had him on before?
We had him on before. He's a very good one to talk to.
Yeah. He is a good one.
Aw,
for
thanks.
having
Coming
to
from you, that means
for having about faith and stuff, because not much of that around. I know it's a lot. We have to learn it some more.
We do.
I've studied these people, and they got to start understanding. Sam. Oh.
So much to understand, Sam.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That-
No, I completely agree, Uncle.
I mean, it's just crazy here now. Just crazy. It's just out of proportion. Now, are you watching? Do you ever watch previews? I mean, reviews of shows? Just to ask. Sam?
Like what kind of shows?
Like, shows like you review them. And I was
like
just
on YouTube.
like in the movies. Do you ever review them? I just ask.
Oh, does Sam, are you
just-
wondering if Sam, the shows that he watches,
Yeah.
that would he like to do a review of a show that he watches? Is that
Yeah,
the question?
that does he listen to? It?
Yeah.
That's the question I'm asking.
Do you do any reviews? Do you do any media reviews?
What mean reviews? Yeah, I asked you that.
I do not, but I
Oh.
mean, there's always a first time, so
Oh,
you know.
I asked
But
that
no, I
because
don't
every.
think I have.
I asked that because we watched this Top Gun and people. I made sure they watched it first before I tell them, and that's my rule: is you have to watch the show from the beginning, and then go to the. But if you haven't, that's fine. But I was just wondering if you did.
Would you like Sam to do a review of a show at all now, Uncle? Is that
Well,
what you're
if
hoping?
he's interested in them.
Well, okay, Sam. How about this? Is there any show that you would like to do? Maybe even a quick review on. It doesn't have to be long if you don't want it to be.
Yeah.
Quick little review.
Ooh, yeah. So I mean, I did enjoy the Top Gun review. I think that's what Uncle is referring to, but I haven't seen the second one yet.
You have seen the first one, though, right?
Spoilers.
You have seen the first one, no?
Oh yeah.
All right, you're ahead of the
Definitely,
game
yeah. I
then.
have
So
seen the first-
you watch that second one, and I may catch you next week. All right? For the show, you can you can review it. I'll let you review that.
Oh, okay. The review has
I mean,
to be
for-
Top Gun. Is that it?
Well, it's the show we've been talking about.
Okay,
I don't
okay.
want to go to one that he hasn't watched.
All right. I
Know what I
don't
mean?
know the review rule here. Uncle.
That's what I'm trying to tell him the rule.
Got it. Now I know.
I mean, so you watch them, you go, and whatever time you can go and watch it, and then we'll go from there.
better go watch that Top Gun, Sam.
Sam, feels like
Yeah, I got my homework. I will watch it.
Okay.
And get back to you, Uncle.
yeah, because I don't like to ruin it on people that hasn't seen it. That's my ruling. I mean, they have to look and they have to see it. Even my producer, he didn't see it. The second one. Hey.
No.
Here he comes. Yes.
Yeah, haven't seen it yet.
Yeah,
I know.
no.
Sam, maybe there's something you've seen recently you want to talk about. Is there anything you want to enter a review in, a quick one?
Oh yeah. Well, what you haven't seen?
Ooh, well, so my wife and I have been rewatching Lost. If anyone remembers that from 2005. Anyone remember that show?
Back to
I
the
remember
show,
it being
man.
on. I never actually watched Lost, but I definitely everybody knows of it being on. Yeah.
Lost, that movie Lost.
Did you ever watch that series? Uncle?
I
No?
was on and off watching it.
You were.
But not constantly studying it. Well, if that's what you meant.
Yeah, I would have thought you might have seen that one. Yeah.
I know people have though in this family.
So what's your review of Lost? Sam?
What was your review?
Well, so I haven't gotten to the last episode yet, but there's 6 seasons, and so far, I'm on the 6th season, and it's chalking up to the big, question of free will versus predestination. Can we affect our destiny, or are things just gonna, play out the way they will, and it's an interesting concept. I'm kind of interested to see where they take it in the end, and I also want to. I made a note to myself to look up if I could figure out who financed it, because I'm curious if they, who it was. There could be a hidden agenda, as there sometimes is.
Interesting. Hidden agenda, Uncle. What do you think of that?
Yeah, well, that's what his mind is, thinking of what he was doing. So, but
Yes,
didn't I open up this window?
Oh, are you getting too hot, Uncle?
It's getting warm.
Okay, I will open up the window for our.
Because I had it open. I had it open when you first started, and sort of got cut down.
Cool.
Yeah, well.
1 moment.
He's getting the window open because we got some air coming through here, I heard.
It is hot.
Let the air in. Let the air in. It's supposed to be cool today.
There we go.
All right.
Nice,
what we do then? Well, what did I talk about?
All right, the window is open. The frogs are quite loud again, but it'd be cool if they actually came over. I doubt anybody will hear it on the show.
Oh.
But it's always a nice, relaxing sound when you're out in the yard to hear that. All these frogs that make noise at night.
Uncle, I have a question for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
If you want, how are you liking the desert? Have you been out there?
Oh, I've been out there. But I'm waiting. I'm waiting patiently on these guys. We got the process trying to move on. To get it moving so we can let them make money. That's what I'm waiting for.
It's moving around.
process of doing that, but they got to get a contractor.
We actually have another call now.
Oh, yes, I heard a call.
So, Sam, feel free to stay on the line.
Yes, stay on the line.
Take the other call.
Another call on the line.
Caller. Welcome to the Uncle Show. It's Friday night on NoChili.com. Thank you for being here.
Yep.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Spent Kent has entered the building.
Oh, no, there he is. My favorite man. The wrestler is back. Listen here. The man is finally back. Comedy hours is just started. Very funny. It's starting up. We got the guy that starts the program. Hello there.
Well, I tell you a movie everybody should be reviewing, and it's Predator. I was in that movie.
Oh, you were?
I picked the kid off
Yes,
the
we
ground. He
saw
was
that.
bleeding. I said, kid, we ain't got time to bleed.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Jesse, enough. Hey, guys, it's Ken. How's everybody doing here on Friday night? How you doing, Uncle?
Oh, hi there. Oh, you had your buddies in there. He made a good comedy show. We had a good comedy going there.
Yeah, some of these guys, they jump in every now and again when I call. They're over here just messing around, just running around, drinking beer, and some of them are just jumping off the walls, whatever. But once in a while, they'll jump up and make a comment, say hello to Uncle and Aaron and Chuck. So they're around. We'll see.
Okay, this is a second caller.
Yeah, well, it's glad to have you here.
Glad to have you.
Yeah. We're reviewing shows. We're talking about all sorts of important topics here on the show tonight, as we always do. So I have Sam Idlet, author of Dancing with My Fate, on the line with you. So
we have
company going here.
There's another couple talking about.
Well, I actually didn't have a question.
Oh, good.
Yeah, what's that?
What that?
Oh, go ahead, Uncle. I just have a question.
I was going to say about another program that I've already watched through, but it's The Thing. But it starts back. It's coming back next month.
The movie?
The show I've been watching, and your wife have been watching.
You're talking about the. I thought
thing.
you meant The Thing from Outer Space. You're talking about. Uncle has been watching Stranger Things, right? Stranger Things.
That's what it's called.
Yes.
Stranger Things. And man, I tell you, that is funny. That is more weird than any of them. But now that I found out the punchline of that, end of that 4 was, hold on. July 1st. What a punchline. At the end of 4, here it is, and I'm ready to... What a drop line. They have to wait until the July 1st to continue. Oh, that got to me when I saw the ending of that part 4. But it still continues. Oh, boy.
Lucam is saying that he likes the first season of Stranger Things, but not the others. Creative Accents is wondering why we haven't been drinking dollar store beer lately.
Ask that sidekick over here. Ask the sidekick, man. That's me.
Every time I've been to the dollar store, they haven't had anything new. It's been a while since they've had anything new, so I will keep checking back, but haven't seen anything. Man, I don't even feel like drinking a beer right now, honestly. I feel a little queasy. I don't know what's going on with it.
Don't tell me it's a sign of something. Something is starting again.
But, Kent, you said you had a question.
Man. Wait, go ahead. What you have?
Yeah, now it's actually turning too because he brought up Stranger Things. I never watched Lost back in the day. My bass player, my best friend at the time back then, he watched it religiously. And I know it went like 9 or more seasons. And now I got Hulu, and I'm like, God, I want to jump back to that long ago. To is it worth to go and binge watch it? And then the second one is I never watched Stranger Things, and now they got a season 4 on Netflix. And I'm like ready to just start binging that one. I never seen that one either. Are these really good?
Go to one first before you go to season 1 first. Continue up, and then you'll see what happens.
Progression.
Progression.
Yeah, of the story.
Of the story of the profession.
It's like, is it worth investing the time though? It's like, do I want to? Time is short when you get older.
Yeah.
It is interesting, but what I've saw so far, very interesting.
Sam, have you seen Stranger Things at all?
Yeah. Did you see it?
I did see the season 1. Yeah.
Oh, you did?
I haven't seen any of the other seasons.
Oh, you got to go to 1, 2. You got to go 2, 3, 4 now. I went through the whole thing.
Uncle went all the way.
Yeah, I mean, if I like it, I'll binge it. I got it on Hulu, and I got Lost also. But
you do?
Like, I've always hesitated. I watched La Brea, which I actually liked. In the season 1, that's a CBS or ABC show. And the season 2 now should be coming any month now. But that's actually like deals with time travel and stuff. It was kind of cool. People said it was like Lost in the reviews, but I've never seen Lost either. So, like I'm saying, I'm wondering if that's worth jumping up binging on or Stranger Things. So I've heard people love them, like good reviews, but I'm kind of wondering what you guys think that have actually seen the show.
Yeah, they
or shows.
I saw them. That seemed pretty. I'd say interesting. Of course, they're a little scary. Of course, these things. But
which do you think is better, Sam? Because you've seen both of those series. Which one do you like better, Stranger Things or Lost?
Yeah, which one do you think?
Yeah, so I like Lost. I mean, so personally, Stranger Things is it's too creepy for me. I can't do it.
I thought I knew that. I knew somebody would say. I knew that would come up. Somebody was creepy. Didn't want they couldn't handle it.
Creepiness.
To me, this creepy stuff. To me, it's like I'm back to Jason or the other guy,
Freddy.
Craig.
Freddy Krueger.
Freddy Krueger or Friday the 13th. To me, it's like a Halloween. A Halloween show. If you put it in a little bit of perspective. Halloween show. Oh boy, here we are. Back to new Halloween shows. Heck, why don't I don't go trick-or-treating? The kids do that. I go watch a show. Boom, pop them things on and boom, there you go. I mean, these are what I sort of like those kind of things.
Yeah, they're fun.
And those movies, that we were just talking about there, Uncle. I don't know how old. I think Aaron's a little bit younger, but like Chuck and I were teenagers during the 80s.
Yeah.
I was 16 in 86, and Chuck was probably 14. So all those movies, I'm sure he saw most of them too. They were really awesome back then, especially when you're a teen.
Man, I mean, I jumped out of my bed when, whoa, here comes Jason. Here goes a
I love
knife,
yeah,
and
I
they're
love those-
going nut crazy.
I'll tell you something though. A complete waste of time is this recent Halloween movie, Halloween Kills. It's awful. I got to tell you that.
Yeah, good. Now I won't watch it because it's free on when I'm up at work. I was considering, but I got out of the Halloween thing by the mid '90s. You know.
Yeah, I mean, like when you're Boogeyman is less realistic than Jason Voorhees as far as his survival. Okay, I'm good. You know what I mean? It's so. Anyways, so yeah, no, I would not go with the Halloween Kills thing. Really bad. I couldn't believe how bad it was. And they brought Jamie Lee
Michael.
Curtis back to it,
There's
yeah.
the other one, Michael, going walking down the street with a mask on.
Michael Myers?
Michael Myers.
Michael Myers. That's
That-
Halloween.
Yeah, that one. Another phone
gosh,
call.
we have another call.
Hold on.
Okay.
We got another caller. Hold on the line there for a minute.
All right.
And let's get this caller. Hello? Hello?
You're on the line,
You're
caller.
on the line.
Oh, hello. This is Jimmy James.
Jimmy! Oh, we're sitting in your chairs, by the way, Jimmy.
Yes, we are.
We got
Thank
your
you very
chairs. We're
much for
sitting
the
on.
chairs. We
Oh,
are
good,
using them
good,
right
good.
now.
Yeah. So,
Hey, you know who was also scary in those Michael Myers movies was a psychiatrist. That guy also never died.
yeah. That's right.
Psychiatrist.
Wasn't it Sutherland, Donald Sutherland, that did the first one?
No, it's always the same old guy, Donald Pleasance. Somehow the name
Oh,
popped in my
Pleasance,
head.
all right.
Presence.
Yeah,
It
okay.
wasn't Sullivan. No, because he was in
Yeah, I
a
got them a little
War Pictures, I thought. Sullivan
Mrs.
was.
Myers. That
Until he
was the
died.
boogeyman.
Oh,
Yeah, until then they replaced him with another guy who was like a pseudo version of his character. That it was like, oh, this guy was working with that doctor the whole time. They just introduced another guy in there.
Yeah.
That was like, okay. But no, I shot him 7 times. Yeah, Donald Pleasance is that guy. So,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I got twisted around there, but yeah, because I know Keith Sutherland's father, you know, and he was in the original MASH. So anyway,
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I'm spent Kent for a reason.
Yeah. Oh,
Nice.
right.
All right.
Wasn't he in one of the Invasion of the Body Snatchers movies too?
Body Snatchers. There's
Sutherland?
It is familiar.
He was in
to
that
me,
vampire movie, The Lost Boys. I know that.
Vampire
Yeah,
movie?
Kiefer
Uncle,
was.
Keeper something.
I have a question for Uncle. I have a question for Uncle.
What's happened there? Choking on something there. Got a glass of water.
When you were a kid, did you watch Robin Hood?
Oh.
Robin Hood. Have you
Oh,
seen
yes,
that?
Robin Hood.
Which one?
Robin.
Yeah.
The
Which
Adventures of
one?
Robin.
What-
The Adventures.
Yeah,
the
they was
original
one.
one from Britain.
Oh.
Okay, do you
not
remember
sure
the
about
guy that played the cowardly Prince John?
Yeah.
That was also Donald Pleasance.
Oh.
Okay.
Bugs and Pleasance.
There you go. You recognize that?
Yeah.
Actor?
Yeah, that's right.
I can't remember that.
Yeah, you weren't.
Remember,
Not yet.
it'd be the one in the beginning, it'd be an arrow hitting a target, and they'd
Yeah.
go, Robin Hood.
Oh, yeah.
Da-da-da-da.
Yeah, Robin Hood.
But
Everybody
that's
followed
like
the...
60s, right? 60s
Yeah.
or 70s.
Yeah, it was around in that time. Right.
Oh, I'm thinking like 50s. It came
50s,
out.
well,
50s.
50s even.
It had to be later 50s if I'd have seen it. Who might have seen
No,
it was my
kept
sister,
going
because
as,
she's 50.
You know, like repeats.
Oh. But it had to be later 50s if it came out. The later 50s when...
Yeah, there's
That's right,
one from
exactly.
that's old, like 57, 59, something like that. It's long before my time.
59,
yeah, I know what you're talking
if
about.
I hope it was 59, that's the only time I would have known it. But I'm not sure. Oh, what it would be. That's true. But it had
And
to
then
be
they had
either...
one Robin Hood Men in Tights. and like a couple others after. There's one like in 2018 recently. It was okay.
That one the ones in tights I thought was funny.
Oh, that's the Mel Brooks one.
But the Mel Brooks. Those were funny.
Yeah.
Those were the funny ones. I mean, those
spoof
kind
fall
of
down.
that moaning of start falling down, and then they were starting. He started, and I had to go back, change, go back and forth.
Yeah.
You know how that.
Remember the guy that said, "Hey, Blinken," and the blind guy said, "Did you say Abe Lincoln?"
Yeah.
Stupid.
Yeah.
That's my favorite part of that. That movie cracked me up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mel Brooks films are always a lot of fun for sure. He's a master of the spoof, to be sure. But Friday night, Uncle the broadcast. We're here. I lost track of how many people we have on the line now. I know we have Jimmy James, we have Spent Kent.
We have 4 of them. We have 4. Actually, if you counted,
Got three.
We got 3. Yeah. If you counted, what's his name first started talking? Well, what's his name? The wrestler.
Oh, yeah, I did not
Former
count that.
governor of Minnesota.
I mean the governor of Minnesota. So that's 5.
Okay.
Chuck.
There we go. Let's not forget that.
You forgot that, Chuck. Got to keep up with it.
It's good. It's exciting. It's fun.
I mean, so I had 5 so far.
Yeah, there we go. It's a lot of calls.
So, what else have we got? Let's see. What else can we talk about?
Let's go back to Sam. Sam was the first caller.
Oh yeah,
we're glad to have you here, Sam. Is there any other reviews that you think you have in you tonight? Because these, you know how important these reviews are. Any of those?
Oh man, let's see. If we're gonna do like '80s movies, one of my favorites is They Live. Has anyone on the call seen that?
Put on the glasses. Put the glasses on.
Reminds me of somebody saying that.
Yes.
Somebody reminds me of that saying that. Mention no name.
So you like the movie, Ken? I assume.
Well,
I have come here to chew bubble gum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubble gum.
Oh no!
Put the glasses on.
Put the glasses on.
Apparently, John Carpenter and Rowdy Roddy Piper were good friends on that movie shoot, and they're real buddies there. And definitely,
Minnesota don't want to say about that. Somebody in Minnesota would say something about Pommy Parker.
Yeah.
He'd say something about that.
It was an interesting piece of casting. I made the movie what it was, and I think I love that movie. I think it's great. And
well, the bubblegum part actually was something Rowdy Roddy Piper wrote a long time ago. Like, he had a whole notebook full of crazy, you don't throw rocks at a man with a machine gun. You got that one. You've got, there's several others. Anyway, so Carpenter saw that and said, that's going in the movie. The bubblegum. That's like the most famous meme and quote from that movie. Yeah. And that was all Hot Rod. He wrote that.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, wrestlers, they're good ad-libbing and they're entertainers, and they know how to do that. So it makes sense that Carpenter would make use of that skill there that he certainly had. But yeah, to me, that scene, the famous fight scene where they're fighting, he's trying to get his friend to put the glasses on.
Put on the glasses. Yeah, that was like one of the best right there.
It's so good.
And the guy thought he was nuts, because he saw him shoot up a bank, and then he's like, put on these glasses. It's like, man, get the away from me, He had to bleep that out there, but yeah. And he's like, no, put on the glasses. And they had this big fight, and he finally gets his glasses on. The guy's like, whoa. And then when he's in the convenience store, he's like, you take the glasses off, you look normal. Put them back on for formaldehyde face. He was seeing everything with the glasses on. It was one of the greatest movies of all time, with one of the greatest actors and the greatest wrestler, I think, all-around entertainer in professional wrestling of all time, Rowdy Roddy Piper, the Hot Rod.
Yeah, he's good. Jimmy, do you have any thoughts on the movie?
That's good.
Yeah.
You like it? Okay. Well, we're glad you're in good company here.
Yeah.
Sam, anything that we need to know on this review? I know you got some good material here.
I mean, you covered all the fight scene is just my favorite part, and I love that it goes on for like 20 minutes. It's so great.
Yeah. That's
I forget the guy's name. He actually hit Roddy Piper pretty hard during because they didn't have a lot of stunts through that, and Piper had talked about this before when he was still alive back in the day, and he was like, "Yeah, he got me a good one," but I was like, "Yeah, let's just keep going." And then that actual actor, I forget his name, was talking about. He's like, "Yeah, I clocked him good. He wasn't ready for it." And he was just like, "Come on, hit me again," trying to imitate Piper. It was a great interview, hilarious. But that's the way Piper always said he was a fighter. He was a great entertainer all around, like in and out of the ring. But he was, deep down, he was always a bagpipe player. He was third in the world, or whatever, at one time. And he was a fighter, more than even a wrestler. He was a fighter.
Promise of the King Walter. He always wanted that crown. He's been sitting on that crown so long, it's not funny. And then he goes saying, "I went this wrestling for my seat." Everybody going on in there started fighting to get his seat all the time. Remember that?
That's from wrestling?
Yeah, from wrestling.
Okay.
I remember that back in the time when they had this wrestling program.
When Rowdy Roddy Piper was wrestling.
Roddy Piper
a while back there, yeah.
Piper's Pit, back when he had Jimmy Snuka, and I called that the greatest moment in TV history. I had people calling me, right? I was like, look, Saturday morning, 10 o'clock, I was like 14 years old, 1984, 85, whatever, Piper's Pit. And he just like demolished Jimmy Snuka with the bananas and the coconut and all that. I don't know if anybody haven't seen it, go watch it on YouTube. Just look up Piper Snuka, Piper's Pit, and it'll show you this thing. It's hilarious. And like the phone rang off the hook as my friends calling, like, "You see Piper's Pit?" Yeah, I'll call you after wrestling. Yeah, I called that the greatest moment in television history. But it was so. I mean, just imagine being 14 years old. He was my favorite back then. I didn't care about fan favorites or rule breakers, heels or baby faces, whatever. He was my favorite, even long before he had the Pit, Piper's Pit, back in Georgia Championship Wrestling, and before. So, that was just like, total biggest move a rule breaker I think it's ever made in wrestling, and it was against a great competitor like Jimmy Snuka. Just a classic moment. So,
well,
if you haven't seen it, look it up.
Yeah, Uncle was talking about the King of the Ring stuff that they used to do. I don't know if they do those tournaments anymore, where you become King of the Ring.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're doing it right now.
They are still doing them?
No, it's Money in the Bank. My bad, but yeah, they still do that.
Oh, well, because somebody has to have the chair. Well, passed away, but somebody has to keep the seat warm, as you say.
Yeah, weird thing with Jerry the King Lawler for the longest time. He was one of those guys who got the King of the Ring tournaments. He would win those. But he actually had
long before those things.
But he actually had a heart attack on air, which
I remember that. I remember watching it live. I thought it was a joke at first, but then I'm like, whoa.
He had a heart attack during a wrestling event, Jerry Lawler. I was like, yeah. I remember thinking the same thing. I don't know if it's fake or real, but it turned out to be very real.
I mean...
Yeah, because Michael Cole wouldn't comment the rest of the show. He had it in silence the whole time. He wouldn't.
Hey, Chuck, when that guy had his heart attack, didn't like two bimbos dressed up as like fake nurses come out and they put him in a stretcher and they took him out?
Well, they actually did, though. Cole didn't know what to do.
See, in my memory, I think they pulled the cameras back, so I couldn't tell what was going on. In the live broadcast, I mean, maybe there's different angles on it, like I say that exist today. But I remember them pulling the cameras way back. You just see him leaving at a certain point, and it's like, what is actually going on here?
Well, Cole started freaking out. That's what happened when I think they were following a match, whatever match was on, and like Cole started freaking out. We need medical help, and then they came out, and I don't know, but did they put him on a stretcher? I don't remember, but he got out of there, and Cole said, yes, I think Michael Cole, he still commentates today. He's like, I think Jerry the King Lawler has just had a heart attack. I'm very concerned. I don't have any information. This is not a joke, and I am not going to speak anymore. You can watch the rest of the show. There's like 20 minutes left.
Yeah.
And he's like, there will be no more commentating for this show, and that was it. And then they played the rest of the show for like 20 minutes.
Yeah, I remember that. It just totally disrupted the whole rest of the show, and the other guy's partner. You say his name is Cole. I don't even remember that. I just remember he didn't handle it too well. It was just like I don't know what to say. Pretty much. Again, I only saw this maybe once. A long time ago when it happened.
But you remember what happened to Owen Hart, right?
Oh yeah, but
at the pay-per-view, like they all had to go through that, and they kept the show going. They never stopped the show or nothing.
Right.
They kept the show going after that, and that dude died, literally in front of everybody. He fell from the rafters or whatever they call them things up there, the rafters. He fell and died. He went to his death.
Right.
Bounced off the ropes in the ring, and it was just nasty.
Yeah, see, I didn't see that.
They actually have cell phone from it now, like really crappy, but you can get the gist of it anyways.
Yeah, no, I see, and I didn't have that pay-per-view that night.
Neither did I. I just heard about it the next day on the news.
Yeah, me too. That's exactly. It was like, what? Yeah, okay, the guy actually died. And it was like, wow, okay.
I mean,
for such a stupid stunt. I mean, Shawn Michaels did it before, and zip line down. Sting has done it, in WCW. Sting has done it.
Sting has done everything.
It's dangerous.
Yeah, Uncle loves Sting.
That's my boy Sting. Because I got a kick out of Sting because of his vision eye look. He's got this eye look that gets to my attention. Man, if you ever at the icon, but he sits there like he's up in the rafters, and you see him. He's got the eye looking at you. Oh no, this looks like something's gonna happen. Well, I don't know.
I see. Yeah, Steve Borden, he's awesome. I mean, he's like I said, an icon.
Yeah.
Sting. And I liked him back before he did the whole Crow thing, when he was just crazy, short-haired, spiked hair with the face paint.
Yeah.
Wow. You running around fighting against Slayer and the Horseman. It was great. That was like rest day.
He even beats that guy, the one,
You're saying Sting does?
Sting beats
in a match?
What's his name with the orange and red? Can't think of this guy's name.
What's he do? He's another wrestler?
He's another wrestler.
You're not talking about the Ultimate Warrior again, right?
No, not him.
Because he had face paint similar.
Hulk Hogan?
Yeah, Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan. He even beats Hulk Hogan. I mean, Sting does, to me. I mean, because he's more of a serious guy. Hulk Hogan, of course, he was a change of pace of other things.
Yeah, he was doing the whole NWO thing then.
The OWO thing. What a change that was. That was another one that
switched it up.
I couldn't understand.
They were going to do it with Sting instead of Hogan.
He was going to do it.
And they decided to make Sting that icon of the Crow. That's when they turned him into the Crow-like Sting.
Oh, is that what happened?
What a move that was,
Yeah, he made that.
So he came out one night and he was just like goth or like black metaled out. It's just like, what was the debut of that?
Well, what happened is like they accused him of joining the NWO or something, and they had a fake Sting. And I forget the guy's name, but he was a little bit bigger than Sting. And like if you got up close, you could tell it's not Steve Borden.
Oh yeah, that's right. I did.
From a distance, they had a fake Sting, and this is before he went pro.
Right.
And then he came back after months of leave, where the NWO just ran amok, and then he started showing up in the rafters, and they're like, that's Sting, and he had that new Crow look. Started growing his hair a little bit longer, changed to the white face,
right,
and the leather and the bat, and that's when all that started. That was through the NWO.
Because everything happens when the old NWO started. I mean, man, you're not just watching what's in the ring. You're watching what's all over the ring, like the Sting up in the air. You have all these kind of crazy things happening, and they show
the whole time Hogan and them were trying to get Sting to join up with them. He's with us. He's with the Black and White brother. He's with the NWO, and then of course he wasn't.
Yeah,
and that's when they were beating WWE in the Monday Night Wars.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, it wasn't long, but that was that run. I wasn't watching it then.
I was moving the whole thing.
I didn't realize what the Sting was like this rogue character. I get it. I didn't know all the particulars of that. But yeah, that's interesting.
And he carried WCW basically through the entire 90s. And so this was like towards the end of the 90s when he really started that whole Crow character. And, just continued him being the icon he's always was becoming, to this day. And I thought he was the most, before 2000 when it was Y2K there, and not Y2J, but there was a question on a show, wrestling show that I called in on, and I said, really, I think for the past decade, for the 90s, I think Sting should be, the best wrestler of the decade, because he carried WCW all the way till Vince McMahon and the new Attitude Era with Stone Cold Steve Austin, where they finally won the Monday Night Wars, WWE, and Vince McMahon beat that billionaire Ted Turner in WCW and won the Monday Night Wars. But it took Stone Cold and The Rock coming up to do that.
Rock, yeah, that's right. I remember those two together.
Watch that.
Them two.
Yeah. Still, I'll remain a fan of
WCW was winning it for a while with the whole Sting thing and the NWO at first, but then they started, their storylines got stupid. And people were going back between WWE and WCW at the time, like X-Pac, he was part of Six as the NWO, and he was back in Degeneration X with Triple H and them. So,
my Triple H.
It's just a lot of craziness going on. It was the beginning of the Attitude Era, but then when finally they launched Stone Cold Steve Austin, then eventually The Rock, that took over and won them the Monday Night Wars against Ted Turner. So
I didn't even know Sting. I thought Sting was just a singer. I didn't
no, he's a rap. Sting, No, the Sting you're thinking of is Candle in the Sting. That's the one that's your film. You're thinking of Sting, the one that you like.
Desert Rose. Yeah, I love Sting.
Sting. That's Sting he's thinking of. But we're talking about the wrestling Sting.
Yeah, I know the recording artist Sting quite well. Yeah. I love his solo stuff. I really do. I think it's better than the Police, personally. But
Police, it's the same one, isn't it?
He is the vocalist for the band The Police, but I like his solo stuff a lot. It's really good.
You have to understand the lyrics in his solo material, because I don't. Anytime I hear it, it's just like, is that actually words? I mean,
you're talking about Sting, Chuck?
Yeah,
Who are you talking about? Sting.
Yeah, that's it. No words, just noise. I can't listen to his solo stuff.
See, there's different people talking different things. There's an example here. You don't like, you like, it's just the way it is. I
feel like his vocals are fairly coherent. Like I don't know. I mean, there's certain ones like Desert Rose, Lady. I mean, obviously those aren't words, but like there's when he's singing actual English words, I can understand what he's saying pretty well. So
I can't tell half the time. I'm telling you, it's like, okay, I'm not listening to this. I hear Scatman Carruthers, I'll turn that on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Can't do it.
What do we get?
I don't listen to it either, Chuck. I hear you, brother.
So what do we get?
It's cool, but anyway, I got to say, though, I was a fan of The Undertaker, except...
Oh, yes, The Undertaker.
Like, that was stupid. When American Badass, stupid. I liked it better when he was
rolling.
Oh God.
Yeah, right. Tells you something right there that they're using that.
When that was watching wrestling, and he did like the one that you mentioned, Chuck. He liked The Undertaker. That was his favorite one all the time.
Sure.
And he always liked it.
I like that guy that always followed him, Paul.
Oh, yes, that's the guy with the pole, with the thing in his hand. The urn. Yes. What the heck? I couldn't understand the beginning of this stuff. I'm ready for a match. Well, who's gonna be in the cage? In the coffin? Everybody going crazy, and then they have the cave and sits there in the.
I gotta ask because
my Undertaker.
Yeah.
I gotta ask this of everybody on the call because if you're familiar with Paul Bearer, you can comment on this. And because of my bad eyesight, right? That was the first guy I ever saw on TV that I could have swore he was wearing a rubber mask, and apparently he wasn't.
Oh,
gosh. Fake, like his whole head looked fake. The whole fake as hell. And I'm looking at him going, this guy, he looks like he's wearing a rubber mask. Now, maybe it's just my eyesight. I was looking at it on TV, but did anybody else get that impression from Paul Bearer? Uncle, did you get an impression that he had a fake head?
In some sort, I thought it was a little bit at that time.
Okay.
It looked like a fake head.
He wore the makeup,
but the makeup, like you're saying,
the white face,
it turns it out,
yeah,
Chuck. It turns it out to thinking, oh, it's a fake head. You see, Chuck?
There were
segments
where he wouldn't wear the makeup, and then you would realize, like, oh wow, yeah, he does actually look. I know what you're talking about, Chuck, but then when the makeup came off, you're like, whoa, he really is. Like, he's just kind of a crazy looking dude.
Yeah.
Is all that's going on there.
There was something very abnormal about his look to the point where his head looked like rubber to me on TV.
Yeah, that was because of what he said about it when he had that, what was it? Something mentioned.
Yeah, I understand what you guys are saying. Actually, that wasn't the problem because I already knew who he was as a manager.
Yeah.
I think he went by Personable Pringle or something back in USWE or whatever it was back in like 89 or 87. He was in AWA for a while, and he was a different manager. He was just a big, fat, weird guy. And then they made him into Paul Bearer, and made him the manager of The Undertaker, and that's how that all started.
Right,
I forget his real name, but like Personable Pringle was one of his characters he played, something like that.
But looking at
Mr. Pringle, he's the Paul
It was long before Undertaker, though. Undertaker was still Mean Mark Callis. Or it might be Mean Mark Galloway.
Yeah. Which, weird thing. I've been confused on the street for The Undertaker before when I was younger.
What?
Wow.
Oh my God. Are you 7 feet tall?
17 tall, and you don't even know the guy was taller than all the kinds of wrestlers in that ring.
That was my whole complaint, is that I'm not this friggin' tall, guys. I'm 6 foot. What are you talking about?
No, I'm talking about
taller than me.
The Undertaker.
Paul Bearer looks like he's like
unless he was wearing stilts.
6', 7. You'd be half a foot taller than him.
Well, I did used to wear motorcycle boots and stuff like this and a trench coat just because. But the thing is that when I had my hair long and all that, and yeah, I was a couple inches taller because of the boots, but not that much. And I have tattoos on my arms, and I don't know. I literally had a couple of people swearing up and down that I must be that guy. When wrestling was in town in Asbury, it happened to me on the boardwalk. And I was like, I am not that guy.
People come up to you, your face looks like his face. The only thing is you're not wearing stilts. If you're wearing stilts now, they say, hey, that's him. Everybody will go crazy. Chuck?
Well, since I know Kent's a big expert on this, how tall was The Undertaker? 6'6"?
He's probably about 6'6". And 6'6". And I tell you right now, I forget his real name in real life, but the Paul Bearer is probably about 6 foot tall, maybe even 6'1".
Yeah, it totally doesn't look.
He walks down next to The Undertaker, and he's not totally towered. Like, let me tell you something. If I walk next to The Undertaker, it's going to be like who's that dude next to who's that short guy next to the Undertaker? Oh, it's Big Ken. You know?
Yeah.
And I'm like 5'8", but so and he's definitely taller than me. He's probably like 5'10", 5'11". I don't know though. I mean, but it just seemed like me. As many times I saw them walk to the ring together, he wasn't totally towered by the Undertaker.
The only thing,
and the Undertaker again is 6'6".
I think
he's not even one of the bigger ones, like as far as like, Big Show obviously, and certain other 7-footers, or even Kevin Nash at 6'9".
Oh yeah, he was
or 6'10".
Kevin Nash. He was the one in NWO. He's the one that was in that too.
Yeah, him and Scott Hall were the outsiders. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're the outsiders.
Scott Hall, heck, he was about 6'6" at the time. I think he was 6. He's around 6'6".
Right.
Well,
so he was always a bigger wrestler before he became Chico.
Creative accidents.
You'll never get a more bizarre experience than actually having Andre the Giant walk past you, though.
Oh,
because
Giant,
and damn.
He took your hand and dropped it down with one hand. What are you talking about, Chuck? You take that one hand of him and boom.
Well, that's what
Show
I'm saying.
over.
Actually, you know, they used to come down and they would actually shake some hands, on the side rails and all that. Well, in Asbury Park, they had it set up like that at Convention Hall. So Andre comes down to the aisle where I am, and I'm like, wow.
He's humongous.
Humongous. I mean, they tell you 7'4", 500 pounds, whatever. Like, they weren't lying. Really, really huge guy.
He was around 7 foot. He's been quoted at 7'2", and around 480 pounds to 500 pounds. But I think some of that's exaggerated. I think he was really in at 7'1". I think their stories aren't even accurate of some what people talk about.
Creative accents is saying
the Big Show. Big Show, Paul White, who first came out as his son in WCW, which was stupid. But if he was fatter, he'd be every bit as big. I think he's actually as tall as Andre, and I would actually think that he was. Big Show was probably stronger in when they were both in their prime. I bet you Big Show would have, because he was a little more, he was a little leaner. He was a little leaner and stronger, I think.
Well, have you watched that documentary where the other wrestlers that went against Andre the Giant talked about how, like, if you really ticked him off, he would really hurt you, and there was nothing you could do about it.
Yeah,
I mean, nobody denies that, but Big Show is kind of the same way. Big Show is about 7'1", and he's a good 480 pounds or whatever. But Big Show's muscular. He hits the gym.
Yeah.
Both of these guys are just naturally freakishly strong. It won't matter. I mean, they could slam anybody just about anywhere they want. But if I had to go put Paul White against Andre the Giant in their prime, I'd probably go with Paul White. I would probably go with the Big Show, just because he's a little leaner, a little quicker, and probably maybe even a little stronger. But Andre did way more.
Yeah, see, it's a tough call because where is Andre in his prime? He wrestled injured and in pain for a long time.
A 1978 Andre the Giant. I'd take a 1978 Andre the Giant, about 25, 30 years old, whatever he was then.
Okay. I don't know.
I'd take a 30-year-old Big Show.
Well, I think it's even money. I got to be honest with you because I mean it's not like you got a huge advantage either way. And Andre, I don't know. I think Andre might have been a little more, I mean, he was drinking a lot. That documentary is hilarious.
Oh, yeah, he would drink he'd drink like 100 beers or something, they said.
Yeah.
Remember when I don't know if we used to say the S word, SHIT, but he was wrestling Bad News Brown, and he put his butt against his face in the corner, against the ropes there, and Andre just let one rip, and it just like diarrhea everywhere because he had been out drinking and eating like fish or something the night before, the day before. And he was like having, problems, and apparently he crapped all over Bad News Brown. in the match. I don't know if it's
In the
televised.
match.
I've just heard the story.
That's
With home the whole thing.
there is so much.
Could you imagine that massive ass? You know, just you're having a wrestling match with this rhinoceros, and he just backs up and just craps on you. You know, I was gonna say shits on you. It's just for the effect, right? Leave it out, Chuck. But yeah, just imagine that. So bad. That happened to Bad News Brown though. Never saw a video, but I heard the story.
No, fair
From
enough.
lots of people.
To me, it was, but you know, the whole thing when he goes in WrestleMania 3, I guess it was, and you know, he wrestles Hulk Hogan and all that. You know, he was barely functional.
Passing of the torch.
Yeah, I mean, he was barely functional by then, and you could tell. I mean, I saw that on a closed circuit TV. If anybody, you kiddies don't know what that is, closed circuit TV location. I
remember that.
And yeah, it was, you know, it was clear that he was not at his best by then. But yeah, in 1978, Andre the Giant would be a whole other animal compared to what he was throughout a lot of his career. Because again, he was injured.
Yeah, and compared to 1988, when you're talking about, or whatever, 87.
Whatever it was, yeah. Because I was a teenager, so it might have been 88, 87. I don't know. Somebody
But
can.
everybody even says back then he personally passed the torch to Hulk Hogan. He didn't have to. Because everybody would have said in a real fight or whatever, yeah, Andre would still win because he's so powerful. Like Hogan was strong and everything, bodybuilder, but he was so outmassed by that guy. You know, if the guy ever got anybody down, there's nothing you could do. You can't move 500 pounds off of you. I don't care who you are.
Right.
That's 500 pounds that's so strong that's just choking your face. You know,
That's the thing. Is 500 pounds of anything? You're not moving it. I'm sorry. Hardly anybody.
Yeah, you're not moving a Rhino. You're not moving Andre. You're not moving Show either. Big
Just
Show, so.
that hand himself with the Giant. Just that hand. Take it up, and you're done, and you're done. That less than 1 minute and 45 seconds before the match is ended. That was his move.
See, just him shaking his way to the ring. My hand, and I'm 6 foot tall, just disappeared.
Right.
And disappeared in Andre's hand.
Right.
Right.
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. One goes down, the man had him down pin. Then over. It's over. Ring, ring, ring the bell. Bing, bing, bing.
I wouldn't want him to grab any part of me, even like my arm, my bicep. Say I got like a 15, 16-inch arm. He would just rip it off.
Oh, yeah. He would.
He'd just rip my arm out of my socket.
He definitely would. He definitely would.
That powerful.
Oh, yeah. At his prime, yeah.
You know who else was strong as hell like that, although you might not know it, is Scotty Bigelow, Bam Bam.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Seriously, freakishly strong.
What was that guy eating the poles again?
Yeah, he's a big guy, though. I mean, all in all, you expect him, like, you're not going to want to just, hey, I want to go fight Bam Bam Bigelow. That would have been stupid.
No.
But who's really freakishly strong in wrestling today is that, John Cena was always freakishly strong.
Yeah,
and that the French guy that they brought out, now I can't remember his name, but, like, he's freakishly strong. Like, is that
Bautista?
And they don't even look like they're that big,
Bautista. That one might have been. Bautista was his name? You thinking of?
Yeah, Batista. But Batista's a bodybuilder. He's not like freakishly strong like the guy. I can't remember his name. It'll come to me. But you know, he's a bald guy. Kind of looks like Jason Strahan, but on steroids.
Well, see, Bam Bam, I'm going to tell you, he's the smaller of the two Bigelow brothers, first of all. And
Bam Bam.
You know,
Biggie
the other thing was that I drank with the guy, and despite the fact that he was, I did a couple of places in Asbury. He was from Neptune, New Jersey, which is the same place I was from. He had been the captain of a high school wrestling team, as a matter of fact, when he was a kid.
What is this with the guy on the poles? He's taking the poles off, whipping the wrestling match. Take the poles up.
Steel.
Yeah, that's Steel. That guy chowing down ate a whole big piece of porn. Man, what did he have? He didn't have teeth in his mouth. I like to know what he ate, what he had.
Animal
Eating that stuff.
Steel?
Yeah. I would like to know what he had in his
I
mouth.
saw him live at the Cap Center.
You start taking the poles off.
83.
Jeez. That was funny. But
I saw Snuka and Don Morocco, and I saw Bob Backlund against who the heck he was. I saw Andre and Big John Studd too. That's the big one. And then Bob Backlund defended against somebody. That was like 82, 83.
well, let's get the guy from Minnesota on here.
We could. Oh well, actually, why don't we do shout outs real quick at the
Shout-outs.
show? I think
On
that'd
the
be
show?
good. Since we have so many callers, why don't we go? Sam, are you still there?
Are you there, Sam?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm
Okay. Well,
I'm a fan of wrestling. I'm not. My depth is not as much as a lot of the people on this call right now. But
we were
I did
just
watch wrestling growing up.
talking about it. I mean, what else is
Sam, do you have any
I
shout
would
outs
say shout out right now. Shout out to one of my faves, which wasn't mentioned, which is Mankind.
Yeah, he's good.
I really, I don't know why, but I really like Mankind. He was one of my favorite wrestlers.
Foley's little boy.
Yeah, Mick Foley, great wrestler, great weird guy.
Mick Foley, Mankind, Cactus Jack. What was the other one? He had another one, Dude Love.
Oh,
he had a
Dude
couple
Love,
that
yeah.
he did.
Yes, Dude
Cactus
Love,
Jack
I
is where he
remember
started
him.
out really famous with, and then became Mankind, and then he did all of them in WWE. And Mick Foley, and you know, Mick Foley's mom. What did Jim Ross used to say? Mrs. Foley's little boy.
Kent, do you have any shout outs?
Great wrestler.
Do you have any shout outs you'd like to give, Kent?
Yeah, I would. Shout outs.
Go ahead.
No. It's if you have anybody that you'd like to shout out to tonight, Kent.
Can
just say hello. You're on air.
Oh, I just want to say I love everybody. I took tonight off and found out my friend, she's got her stepdad's got COVID, and they're going to quarantine. So I wanted to make a point to be on the shows tonight and be around and try to call in. I missed your show, Aaron, but I had to run out for a while. But I came back and got up here with you guys here on the Uncle Show. And, of course, Jesse had to say what Jesse had to say. And hold on a second. Stone Cold's going to say what Stone Cold wants to say, and that's the bottom line. All right, cool, dude. All right, so that's about it. Love everybody. Kent signing off.
All right, thanks for being here.
Thanks for being here,
Kent,
Kent.
as always.
Yeah.
And then we also have Jimmy James.
James?
Jimmy, who you shouting out to tonight?
Oh, shout out to the greatest wrestler of all time, a gentleman and a scholar. The truly undeniable greatest wrestler.
Who is he?
And of course, that's the Brooklyn Brawler. Shout out.
Brooklyn Brawler.
Of course it is. Good shout out
Not
there.
a class act. Right there. That's a class act.
Uncle, you got any shout outs?
I'm going to shout out to all the beef people. Fact, I had seen one as I walk into Smite tonight. I'm going to shout out to that fellow that he's a beef man riding around his car. I saw him this evening. I want to shout out to them.
Okay, cool. I'll shout out to the Honky Tonk Man. Why not? Sounds fun.
The Honky Tonk.
Yeah.
What about your favorite wrestler?
Tonight it's the Honky Tonk Man.
Oh, well.
So
I'm
there
going
we
to
go.
also shout out to one other person. All right, Sting. That's a shout out to you.
There we go. He
All right.
deserves that.
I heard that.
All right.
Well, that's the show for tonight. Thank you, everybody, for calling in. It was great
It's
to
the
talk
show?
to you all. Thank you for listening, everybody listening.
Who do we?
We're at UncleThePodcast.com and also at Uncle Podcast on Instagram and Twitter. Check those out. We're live every Friday night on Ochelli.com. Uncle, why don't you bring us home right now?
There's 265 episodes. Bye-bye. Who do we have on? Hey.